Hello YouTube, this is Dark Vigilante bringing you some more Valkyria Chronicles number 4. And this is going to be Chapter 2, Liberation of Rhine, or Rhine, depending on how the game pronounces it, Forward Operating Base. Again, if you haven't played this game before, you should give it a shot. It is anime drawing, so I know for some people that's like a turnoff, but I'm telling you, it's definitely a game worth playing, especially if you like turn-based RPGs. This is definitely one of those games that you would probably like. At least I think you would. So anyway, without getting too far into that, let's go ahead and get started on Chapter 2.
2 months since the start of Operation Northern Cross. The Federation's elite forces, Squad E among them, were driving back the Empire, one victory at a time. Yet, the further they cut into Imperial territory, the more tenuous the supply chain.
What always happens.
And so the Federation Army established a series of massive outposts along the front line. Among them, Lindbergh Base. Commanded by the 101st Division, this outpost would prove itself a vital logistics hub in the battles to come.
Wow. This is our new base? It's incredible!
Apparently, these facilities can accommodate over 3,000 soldiers and 100 tanks. On top of that, they have enough food, fuel, and ammo to supply every squad on the front line.
Impressive.
More like a dream come true. If I didn't know better, I'd think we were still in Federation territory.
Guess the brass can get stuff done, when they actually try. What's the deal, though? They got all these resources and we're still stuck with one busted-ass tank?
Excuse me? Our squad takes excellent care of the Hoffen.
I have to admit, this really puts the scope of our mission into perspective.
Hell yeah! With this much heat, the imps are gonna feel the burn.
No, we've barely seen the tip of the iceberg. Even all this might not be enough.
Oh, you think? Way to rain on our parade, Commander. Hey, who's that? They got some weird get-ups.
Oh, those are Navy uniforms. That's a surprise.
What are naval troops doing this far inland?
Well, I salute them for swimming all the way here. Whoa! Check out the ass on that one. I'd swap her deck.
Oh my god.
Hold up, Raz.
I'm just gonna say hi. Break the ice, you know?
He's hopeless.
I just hope he doesn't get into trouble.
Don't hold your breath.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, we still have some time before the meeting. I'm gonna go take a look around.
Alright, so we haven't seen the headquarters before. Chapter 1 didn't allow us to come in here, so there's a few things we can do in here. We can go back to book mode and continue our journey if we want to. We can also go to R&D, research and development.
Claude, look at all these weapon parts. The perks of working in a Federation forward operating base, huh? We can develop new weapons here. If there's anything you ever want to upgrade, just give me a holler. Tank armaments, infantry weapons, anything. We'll build all kinds of new weapons and make our team even stronger.
Tutorial R&D facility. Research and development armaments for infantry and tanks by spending DCT. New armaments unlock as the game progresses, so check into R&D often. That's basically an understanding. You should pretty much check in every single time you fight a new battle, basically. Tutorial equipment. Develop equipment to forge new weapons and armor for infantry units. Rifles, machine guns, grenades, and other weapons are mass-produced, so once it's developed, all units can equip them. Upgrades like firepower or accuracy boosts will automatically be applied to soldiers equipping those weapons. So as you can see, there's different trees, and they do branch off into different sections later on. But for now, since we're still like toward the beginning of the game, all we can really do is just a standard boost. So we'll do that.
Wow, a masterpiece! Almost seems like a shame to use it.
What would be the point of having it if you don't use it anyway? Same thing with our machine gun. We could do the same thing.
Whoa.
No Lancer upgrades yet. No sniper upgrades. No mortar upgrades. No grenade upgrades, but there is a uniform upgrade.
All done, Claude. What do you think? Cool, right?
You can consider uniform upgrades like armor upgrades, essentially. Because if you look at the only difference between these two is just the defense is higher. So higher defense, less damage. And you have 2 uniforms you have to upgrade, or 2 armors that you would have to upgrade.
Let me snap a quick picture before you run off with it.
You have like heavy armor, which would be like your Lancers, I believe shock troopers also, and then you also have light armor, which is going to be, you know, like your scouts and in your engineers and stuff like that. So. Oh, I take that back. So the heavy armor was for the shock troopers. The blast suit is for the Lancers, actually.
All done, Claude. What do you think? Cool, right?
Okay, so that's all of that. You can see there. That's everything we have for the R&D. You can also do tank parts. Tutorial tank parts. Develop tank parts to enhance your vehicles and create optional parts. Weapon and body enhancements. Focus on cannon and armor strength. All enhancements stack. Treads and other... Oh, that's a weird way of putting it. Treads and other and attack support allow you to develop new optional tank parts. Optional parts take effect once equipped on the vehicle, so outfit your tank to fit the situation. So you've got extra armor piercing, round damage versus personnel and armor. We can also reinforce the body of the tank. But if you see, we actually don't have enough for both of these. So we would have to pick one in order to do that. We can also get a sight upgrade. This is so these here are different from these in the sense that this needs a block spot. So let me show you. Basically, let's buy this first, and I'll show you what I mean.
All done, Claude. What do you think? Cool, right?
Tutorial optional parts. Each optional part has a size associated with it, such as 2x1. Vehicles have a limited amount of space, so keep part size and placement in mind. So the other ones are upgrades. These are optional parts. So a bulletproof visor is only a 1x1 slot, so we can just put it wherever we want. Doesn't really matter where it goes. As long as it fits, we get the benefits of having it. And now we have that on there. And you can change these out and like add new ones or better ones as you go, which you will do because that's obviously important. AP rounds, I'm going to take those because extra damage right now
Turned out great.
is more useful than extra life
Let me
is.
snap a quick picture before you run.
We don't have enough for a reinforced body anymore, so we're just going to leave that for now. Tutorial, changing equipment. Change equipment by issuing combat gear to infantry and installing parts onto tanks. Customize the loadouts of soldiers and vehicles to suit your strategy. So, like here, you can actually, like, if you select a character, you can go in and change their weapon. You can't change their grenade, it looks like, or their armor. Ah, okay. So the uniforms, we found a couple of uniform parts that we can put on them. Can he wear that? Yeah, he can, okay. Anyway, they have like different attributes that you can put on them. And like something like this, like +3 to aim, +3 versus armor, bullets made with armor piercing capabilities. I am not sure what this would be good for. Because he's in a tank, so I don't even know if that would apply or not. It might. Let's see, Teresa can get patrol cap, sure. And let's see if Laurent can get the cap bullets. See if that does anything. And you don't have to issue the new weapons that you build. They automatically get distributed. And then if you want to, you can go in and change it all for each character, or you can change them all to use the same gun for the same class. You can go and do all that. So. And then last but not least, well, that's not true. We need to do the command room too, but let's do the training field next.
There you are, Claude. I've been charged with Squad E's training. As ranking lieutenant, I'll be giving strict instruction to each combat class. The experience you gain in the field goes towards refining our abilities. I want to see growth from all combat classes. Each time a class makes a breakthrough, every squad member of that class will show improvement.
Tutorial, training field. Spend an EXP at the training field to level up the different classes. Leveling up a class will strengthen all the squad members of that class, which basically means you don't have to level up individuals, just the class that that individual is in. Using EXP to maintain a training routine will help Squad E be all that they can be. This is incredibly important. You basically have to do this. So you definitely want to do that. And what's nice about this game that the other games didn't show you is if you look on the right side, it says next. And if I give the scouts a level, we'll get an order that we can use in battle. And then if I go down here, oops. If I go down here, we can do a battle potential for the Lancers. So that's just like an extra skill that the Lancers can get if we level them up like that. I would probably recommend leveling up your scouts and your engineers first, followed by your shock troopers and your lancers. The sniper is probably last. I don't really think the snipers are all that useful, honestly. A lot of missions, you don't even use them. Grenadiers are incredibly useful. So maybe like scout, grenadier, and engineer would be like top 3, followed by shock trooper, lancer, and then sniper would be like bottom tier for sure. There's just no real benefit to leveling up the sniper all that much, in my opinion.
Push those limits! You've proven you have what it takes. Try taking those lessons to the battlefield, and come back when you're ready. Ah yes, let me tell you about potentials and orders. When combat classes rise in level, sometimes the soldiers show new potentials, or you might gain access to new orders. You could say potentials show your soldiers' traits and tendencies, or at least how they manifest in battle. Orders are commands that you alone can issue in combat, either to individual soldiers or your squad as a whole. The thing about orders, actually, maybe you'd learn better through practice.
Order learn, defense boost.
Use your orders judiciously and you can tip the scales. Watch the flow of battle and command with discretion. That's all from me. I expect nothing but the best out of you and Squad E.
Basically, the orders will be really important toward the end of the game. In the beginning of the game, I'll be honest with you, you really don't need a lot of orders. It's kind of one of those things where it'd be faster to just go and do the objectives rather than even bother with the orders. But not always. You know, it depends on the mission we're talking about. So, and then last, in the headquarters, we can do the command room. This is where we can change out our squad members for different squad members. Like if you get a squad member, I don't know if you remember the last video, if you saw it or not, but we actually had a squad member who, when she was trying to use her weapon, it took all her ammo away. So that's a potential that she has to just lose all of her ammo. That's really bad. We don't want that. I probably would never use that character again. And if I could remember which character that was, I would get rid of her. Maybe there will be a way that I can see in here where we can tell which one she was, and I'll just get rid of her and never use her ever again because of that. Because in certain instances, that would just be really, really disadvantageous to have that happen. So we don't want that. Actually, I'm not really sure why,
Good to see you again, Claude.
but I thought I used all my EXP and I did not, so let's just go ahead and do that. Oh, it's because I was using the D-pad and not the stick. So apparently if you do that, it won't let you do that. So. You could also do it where you could level up everybody evenly, but I've found that that is just not really that useful.
Come now, is that the best you can do? You've leveled up, so to speak. Good work. Your troops have crossed a threshold today. You're cleared to learn a new order.
You've learned Evade Boost. This order raises one ally's evasion. Okay, and then if you could see, now it changed a little bit where the Grenadiers can get another battle potential, and then we also have the Engineers can get another order. We're going to do that because the orders are more important than anything. We'll go ahead and do the Lancers too because they have the battle potential. Why not?
Come now, is that the best? You've leveled up, so to speak. Look at that. The Lancers have awakened to a new potential.
And keep in mind that potentials can be good or bad. They're not necessarily always good. This game has like the
I see the Grenadiers have discovered new potential.
the chance to do either good or bad. So you have to kind of keep that in mind. Keep an eye on your soldiers. You can go in and check them. I don't remember exactly where. When I figure it out, I'll let you know, obviously. And then that way you can tell like who has which potentials. Any potentials that make them like a pacifist where they refuse to shoot, any potentials where they lose all their ammo when they go to shoot, I would highly recommend dumping them in the trash can. You know, Kobe them right in the dumpster and never use them ever again because it's not worth it to use them.
Your troops have crossed a threshold today. You're cleared to learn a new order.
You've learned Healing Request. This order restores a set amount of one ally's hit points, which is actually not too bad. That's pretty handy, actually. The Engineers have very little life. That's part of the reason I would recommend like leveling them up specifically.
Come now, is that the best you can do?
And your scouts are going to use for every single mission practically.
Good work.
There's very few missions where a scout won't be incredibly useful. So yeah, definitely keep that in mind.
Done for today? Well, I'd be glad to train them anytime. Just let me know.
And then finally, let's go to the command room. Probably have another
This is the
tutorial.
command center. I guess our deployment's going to change depending on the demands of the mission. I'll need the right balance of combat specialties. I should go over the pros and cons of every one. First things first, I'll look over the squad as a whole.
Tutorial, command room. Enter the command room to switch active squad mates and change their equipment. When you want to try out a new unit, select Squad Setup to access them. Optimize your squad by managing their combat classes and the squaddies each soldier likes. Well, that's something I forgot to mention. So each squad member typically will like other squad members, and if they travel together as the battle progresses, you'll get like special bonuses for them that they can use together. They kind of said it there, but they didn't really like, you know, they didn't go into it too heavily, so. Here's where you can change your equipment and tank parts if you need to as well. Okay, so here you go. We have, we can actually see their potentials. So like, for example, here she doesn't like guns. She can't bring herself to practice firearms, greatly decreasing her accuracy with them. So that's a pretty big negative. It's not the worst one, but it's definitely not great. I didn't really look at hers, but Iron Mask. Oops, what am I doing? Hold on, guys. I apologize. Here we go. Iron Mask prevents her from receiving critical hits on counterattacks. That's actually pretty good and rare, probably. Taking interception fire raises her defense. Really good. Introversion, so these two are going to be bad. Being under the eyes of many enemies makes her anxious, lowering her defense. So if a lot of enemies see her, it will lower her defense. Even though this raises her defense if she's getting hit. And then poor visibility lowers her accuracy. I will say that with shock troopers, that's not as big of a problem. Because they're using like a submachine gun, they have to get really close anyway. So this isn't really like that big of a downside. Let's check hers out again. Increases effectiveness of Ragnade. That's a big deal. Very, very helpful. Taking repeated actions increases her firing accuracy. For a scout, that's like really super good. Visions of him. Being near a man reminds her of her husband, lowering her AP. An own piece, AP falling below half, causes her evasion to decrease. So those are some pretty big negatives, actually. Lowering your AP, and if your AP falls below, so both of these like feed off of each other, that's not great. So yeah, basically you're just going to want to go through and kind of like look and see like what you got going on. I do tend to want more more of our grenadiers because you don't really get very many. So having an extra one is kind of a big deal, especially if you have a mission where you have to separate out into different squads. You know, that definitely matters. So we don't have any more engineers. We only have 2. So that's something to think about. I think for now we're good. Like, I think this is fine. I'm just trying to remember, like, who... Okay, so Rosetta might not be good. Because she has Pacifist, so... while hiding, they're constantly worried about getting dirty, lowering their firing accuracy. So that's already not good. They abhor violence. Defeating an enemy reduces AP. And a strong desire to realize personal ideals increases attack power. So she's got 1 negative, or excuse me, 1 positive and 2 negatives. So I would probably actually get rid of her because of that. We're going to toss her back. I'm going to take Rosetta instead, or excuse me, Millennia instead. Don't remember. I think she may have been the one that I had where she lost all of her ammo or something. Let's check everybody else and make sure. And I'm somewhat familiar with some of these, so I don't need to look at all of them. You can't get rid of Kai, Riley, or Claude, because they're main characters. Can you get rid of Raz? No, you can't get rid of Raz either. So you have to have all of them. Alright, that's probably good for now.
That should do it for now.
As he said.
Preparation's a vital part of any battle. I get the feeling I'll be spending a lot of time in here.
I don't know about that. Anyway, we're going to go back to book mode. New episode. Extra stories have been added. Tutorial extra stories. Some episodes are unlocked after installing downloadable content. Downloadable content on PC, as I mentioned in the first episode, is free. So what's really cool is they just upgraded everybody up to like all the DLC now, which is really nice. They didn't have to do that, and it did cost me extra money on PS4 when I did that. So if I had known they were going to do that on PC, I wouldn't have bought the PS4 DLC, even though it was like $5 for all of it. Still, could have saved myself the money. Anyway, R&D facility has been updated. Tutorial headquarters. We kind of already went through all that. Basically showed all that. Press Y to get to the menu. Skirmishes. Skirmishes are really important because this is how you get money and experience without having to redo battles. So you can redo skirmishes instead and get your money and experience that way. So that in between battles you can level up a bit if you want. Tutorial skirmishes. Skirmishes are battles that can be waged at any time, like I told you, for money and experience. New maps appear as you progress in the story. Excuse me. So use skirmishes to train when main battles become too tough. Access skirmishes from the book mode tab or press Y to reach the menu. Squad mates killed in action become unavailable in the main story. If they die in a skirmish, they're gone. This also goes for the main story. So if you have a character that gets downed, they're not dead yet. But if an enemy touches them after they're downed, they're dead forever. There is an exception to this, and that is main character, plot armor, story members. So any character like Raz, Riley, Claude, and Kai cannot be killed forever because they are part of the main story. Every other squad member, though, can be permanently killed off if an enemy touches them while they're downed before you do. A new extra story has been added, mess hall has been added, private quarters have been added, and a new skirmish has been added apparently. Personnel has been updated, weaponry has been updated, the glossary has been updated, news articles have been updated. I think a lot of that was due to the DLC. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to save. And then I have a feeling that I'm not going to do the extra stories right now. Let's go back to headquarters and check the people that we can get. Oh, we'll check out mess hall and private quarters as well.
What's the matter, Claude? If I didn't know any better, I'd think you just lost a battle.
I'm glad that we won, obviously, but when I see my comrades in arms lying wounded out there...
We're not in boot camp anymore. This is war. If that's all it takes to get you down, you won't stand a chance when the bombs really come flying.
I know that, alright? War means blood. War means death. Still, it doesn't make it any less painful to leave behind a comrade you know you could have saved.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but tending to the wounded is the medic's responsibility, not ours.
Sure, except when they're too far away to make it in time. Sometimes you can run as fast as you can to get help and still get there too late.
Can't argue with that. If only we could relay the urgency of the situation to HQ. Perhaps like this?
Tutorial, mess hall. Talk to your squad mates at the mess hall to learn new orders. Learning a new order requires XP, but will grant an edge in combat. Learning medic request costs 5,000 EXP. We don't have 5,000, so we're going to say no.
I thought we were on the cusp of a pretty good order. Well, let me know if you change your mind.
And that's a perfect time for you to go do the skirmishes so that you can get the brand new order, so that you don't miss out on that. Private quarters. Tutorial private quarters. Visit your private quarters to view information about the game, which will increase in volume as you progress. So obviously we have, like, you could see, like, your statistics for your battles, your rank, shortest turn count for each battle, etc. So as you can see, we have statistics, engagement at the Milt, 3 turns, we received an A. Siege of the Castle, we received an A for 4 turns. So, and then you have story battles on the right-hand side. We also have statistics for the skirmishes. So the Milt Outskirts is the only skirmish we have right now. It also shows the number of kills that you have. Decorations are given to you if you get a high grade in the battle. Beating certain conditions in combat may earn you medals. You can view any medals you've earned in the Decorations tab. So you can see, given to participants in the battle to capture Fort Crest, it famously fortified gates adorn the front of this commemorative Medal of Victory. Presented by the Federation to those who have contributed greatly to victory in battles, the Federation flag design adorns this award. We also have news. News just kind of lets you know, it's like more lore of the game. If you're appreciating the game, you'd probably appreciate the lore. So you don't have to do this. It's obviously not something that is required of, you playing the game or anything. And I don't think there's any actual benefit to reading the news more than just, more immersion. I'll do this because I like this stuff. If you guys don't like this, just feel free to skip ahead. On the 2nd, Federation military headquarters officially announced history's greatest counterattack, a full-on offensive against the Empire, and one that's been rumored among the politically informed for some time now. After all, the military losses at the Empire's hands, the Federation is now staking it all on this grand assault. Given the sensitive nature of the operation, details have yet to be announced, but we've received reports that millions of soldiers are on the march toward Imperial soil. However, the Federation seems to be slowed by the bureaucracy of its alliances, while the Empire's dictatorial rule allows them swift decision-making. Astute readers should also note that the Federation's initial focus on defense led to spreading the military forces too thin, which worsened their odds against the Empire's superior numbers. With so many Federation territories falling into the Empire, this could be their only chance to turn the tide of this war. Best invention since tanks. You can't discuss the history of war without discussing the history of weaponry. Even beyond the Federation and the Empire, nations across the globe and their brilliant engineers are devising new weapon technology each day. Some inventions even have the potential to reshape the way battles are fought, such as our forces' new portable mortars. These mortars can launch shells into the air, which unleash a powerful detonation upon hitting the ground. The raw power and easy portability have both civilian and military commentators alike singing their praises. The advent of tanks and machine guns elevated warfare to a level never seen before, and these mortars may well do the same. Unbreakable crest broken. On the 10th, the Federation military announced that they were successful in capturing Fort Crest, an Imperial stronghold in the western region of the Empire. Despite fierce Imperial resistance and Allied casualties, Federation forces persisted through dire odds and seized victory, however slim. While this was undeniably a logistical blow to Imperial forces, the victory may be more significant as a much-needed symbol of hope. After so many losses against the Empire's military might, this success may do much to raise our soldiers' morale, and we'll be eagerly listening at the times for news of more Allied victories to come. So that's the news. I'll do that like every episode just because why not? I'm going to show with you like what I would do if I was playing. So. Tutorial Encyclopedia. Check the personnel, weaponry, and glossary sections to review info on characters, weapons, and terms. Available information is updated as the game progresses, so check back every once in a while for new entries. Basically, you can kind of get like a gist of what's going on. I'm not going to go over this because I'm doing the news already. If this is something you guys want me to go through at some point, I will. It basically is just more lore. There's a lot here, so I'm not going to go through all of this. If it's something you guys want me to read and go through, please let me know. Even if it's just one of you, I'll just start doing it. And I'll go back and cover the ones that are in here that I'm going through right now. Same thing with the weaponry. I don't think I really cared too much about this when I played this the last time. I didn't see it as being like all that interesting. And these get updated too, like their personnel files. Like as you're playing and you learn more about them, you know, obviously you'll see more information. So. I don't know, it's kind of neat that they put all this in here, you know. I don't know, it feels more realistic to me when you have so many pieces of lore that you can go through and learn about each person in your squad, you know. And then it gets better as it, like, the more you play them, the more you see. So you get to learn more about them as time goes on. Anyway, I did want to check the command room again because
Okay.
I have a sneaky suspicion.
Give our squad a new edge. Might be good to get 'em on the field.
That's kind of what I figured. I wouldn't recommend doing this, guys. I realize that getting the DLC kind of comes with a downside. Let's see if it did what I think it did. Oh no, it did. Okay, good. There is DLC characters, and they are completely freaking busted. So I wouldn't suggest getting those right away. It doesn't look like they're going to give them to me right away, which is good, because those characters are obscenely overpowered. It's part of the reason I generally don't like DLC a lot of times, is the DLC can just be super freaking overpowered, and I don't really appreciate that. I don't really like that. So anyway, we're going to go back to book mode. All right, we'll just continue on through this. Actually, I take that back. Let's do a quick skirmish here. This isn't technically part of the chapter, but I do just want to show, you know, just the one skirmish, just so that you guys could see it. Victory, the enemy base camp is captured. Failure, the enemy occupies your base camp. All allied infantry fall in action, or 20 turns pass. So obviously, you know, there's not going to be much for mission info because I already told you. Reassign squad just means you can change up your members while you're on that screen, so you don't have to go back into the command room, which is nice. And then obviously you have to position your units. So what I would do is put your scouts up in the front and have a few of them because they're the most useful. And also make sure you put all your leaders in, because your leaders are going to give you the ability to... Actually, I'm going to put her up front. Those give you extra command points.
Let's go.
Alright, I'll do something out there.
And typically I don't deploy everybody. There's no point. You're not going to be using them all. You could if you wanted to, so that, like, if you lose somebody in combat, you'd have, like, a backup. But generally, like, it's not needed. So it's obviously going to be up to you on what you think is the best way to do stuff like that. But
Here I go. Enemy spotted. Let's wipe them out. Keep firing. He's dead.
as you can see, grenadiers are obviously very, very handy. They're very, they're gross. To be honest with you, they're gross. They're really good.
Don't hold me back.
They've got you in their sights.
I'm a one-man army. Come on. Pretty good.
I'll probably move Riley again because she can hit further away. So that just gives us a better chance of hitting these guys, basically.
Expand our military control.
She can also shoot defensively. So not only does she have the ability to shoot offensively, whenever any of these guys move, if they even move, she will attempt to shoot them with her mortar. And a lot of times that can result in literally an instantaneous death for a lot of these guys, so very useful in case you're wondering. The Grenadiers are amazing. They're really good. Their accuracy could be kind of iffy a lot of times, but
Please tell me more about your problems.
that doesn't help. I'll probably just throw a grenade at this guy because it'll end up being... actually, no. Because I think there's a second guy at the end there that we need to take out, so... Also, something to keep in mind that I haven't mentioned, and I'm not sure if... I don't think it's happened yet. Enemies can duck. And as you get further into the game, there's a higher chance they will duck. So you got to keep that in mind and really keep that like in the back of your head that it's possible that one of these enemies could just duck down and avoid your shots. So keep that in the back of your mind.
Out of my way. Right on. They're good.
No, don't kill me. That was pretty close. But as you can see, that's a one-turn victory. And you do get more points for killing more enemies. So we did have a couple of extra command points there. So if we would have killed those other enemies, we would have gotten a little bit more XP and money. So if you have the extra command points, you should be doing that. But the idea of every level is to get it done as quickly as possible.
Taking the enemy base. Mission was a success.
You will always receive more money and more experience for completing the mission faster. So we got 3,600 XP and 3,000, whatever that monetary value is there. And you can redo these as many times as you want. So you don't have to just do it once. Like, for example, if we want to do it again, we can. I am going to do it again. Why? Because we need 5,000 EXP for that order that we just saw from, I forget her name, the lieutenant chick. So, once again, we have Raz. We can put him in the front. Why not? We can also put Kai. I'm going to put Kai in the back because we're not even going to use her.
My turn.
Riley in the front. And then we just need some scouts, basically.
What I want. All right. I'll do something out
Do that.
I've got this.
Here?
I'll show you, like, you could just do all of them if you want.
Eliminate the enemy. Squad E, move out.
We could also use Claude if we want, because he only takes up one command point anyway.
We'll see this through.
So, you know, unlike Valkyria Chronicles 1, where it takes up 2 command points, the fact that he only takes up 1 is really advantageous, so... I am terrible at driving this thing. I don't know why. And we'll take Riley.
Enemy spotted. Let's wipe them out.
Unable to fire! I repeat, unable to fire!
And the best use of her is honestly enemies that are hiding behind sandbags and stuff. If they're out in the open, they don't have a defensive bonus. But like, as you just saw that guy, he was hiding behind some sandbags, which means you're going to need a grenade or a tank to get him to stop doing that. So it does actually matter if they're hiding behind the sandbags or not.
Dirt under my feet.
Incoming!
See if we can get lucky here.
What's this?
And we did.
Let's keep going.
I see.
I think, like,
Understood.
now that I'm thinking about this, I think there might be hidden enemies on certain maps too. Like leader enemies that are hidden.
Dirt under my
I don't know if that's the skirmishes or the main story. I think it's the main story, not the skirmishes, so...
What's this?
I don't look I have a choice.
And if you see like enemies that have names rather than just, you know, scout or whatever, Those enemies will drop special weapons, so you definitely want to try to find and eliminate them.
Out of my way.
Done and done.
Not like I have a choice.
Commencing counterattack. Follow my lead.
Bastard! No sweat.
Target destroyed. Good work.
And as you can see, we're actually behind this enemy instead of in front of him this time. So he doesn't even know we're here.
Like I have a choice.
Because it's turn-based, he doesn't just get to whip around and deal with us. So we actually get a chance at a surprise attack here.
Whatever gets the job done.
Nice.
Now, if that wouldn't have killed him and he would have turned around, he would have had a lower chance to deal damage to us there. So surprise attacks are really nice when you can get them if you can arrange it.
Blew the place.
We've taken the enemy base. Mission was a success.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't actually give you more. I must be thinking of like the leaders. So if you kill the leaders, then you get more, I think. But and tanks also, I believe. It actually says it right on the screen, so I don't know why I'm being stupid. Leader bonus, ace bonus. Aces are the one I was thinking of, where they have like a special name. Leaders are just wearing red outfits, and they don't have a name, but they're worth command points. And then obviously tanks. So. Alright, so let's just save that real quick. And then we'll go back to, was it headquarters? I believe it was headquarters. And then we'll talk to, is it Minerva? I think. Let's see.
What's the matter, Claude?
Minerva,
If
yeah.
I didn't know any better, I think you just lost him.
Yeah, we already heard this.
We're not. If that.
I know.
I'm not.
Some-
If only we could.
Alright, medic request 5,000. We now have enough, so we're going to take it.
Yes, this ought to work. It could save a lot of lives.
Alright, cool. So, obviously very useful. Also, we have more money, so now we can go get that other tank upgrade. Might as well. We were already basically doing it for something else, but since we have the money, might as well just do that too.
What do you think?
Yeah. Anyway, that's all the upgrades we can do right now, actually. I believe we didn't miss any equipment. Nope. So we're good.
Don't know.
Back to book mode.
Glad to see you're on time, Claude. Toured the base yet?
Yeah. Compared to the old camps, this is heaven on earth.
Excellent. I expect you to put all this funding to good use.
Sir, the commanders of squads A through I have assembled.
Then let's get down to business. I know Squad E just arrived, but we already have marching orders. Our mission is to capture a small town northeast of here.
According to reports, Rain is one of the enemy's most valued comm centers.
Which is why it's being guarded by a tank platoon.
That complicates things. Squad E is mostly infantry. Do we have the right equipment for urban and anti-tank warfare?
Don't worry. This time you'll have fire support. Once you infiltrate the city, simply relay the tank's coordinates to the field artillery team.
I see you already thought this through.
We also received intel that the Empire is inflating their numbers with decoys. If we can discern the real tanks from the fake, Rain is as good as ours.
Excellent work, Lieutenant. I'm glad I can depend on you.
You flatter me, sir. Impressed? Control info and you control the war.
Joint ops, huh? Coordinating with the fire support unit is gonna make or break this mission.
Try to minimize collateral damage. We plan on repurposing their gear for our own comm center. Minerva, you are to lure the enemy troops as far away from the city as possible.
Consider it done.
Squad E will then sneak in and gather intel for the field artillery team.
Understood, sir.
Yo, I hear we're moving out already. Oh, shame. I just scored a hot date with a Navy babe.
You wish. You got shut down. Hard.
You were watching?
Raz, what you do in your spare time is up to you. But when you're on duty, you represent the army.
Who are you, my mom?
Feels like it sometimes. Anyway, you said we'd have fire support. Does that mean it's a joint operation? You guessed it. Hey, looks like you're still alive.
I'm glad you're okay, too.
They told me you'll be commanding my team.
Oh, really? Well then, I look forward to...
Spare me. I already requested a transfer. But orders are orders. Until my transfer goes through, you're in charge. Not that I expect real leadership from a scaredy clod.
What do you know, Riley come lately? You just got here.
All bark and no bite as always. You mind shutting up while the grown-ups talk?
What the hell? It's been 10 years and that's how you greet an old friend?
Pretty fair.
Hi there, Riley! I know it's not my business, but Lieutenant Wallace is a great commander. None of us would have made it this far without him. We trust him with our lives. And since we'll be working together, maybe you should,
I should trust him? I'm sure it's all sunshine and rainbows while you're winning, but when the chips are down, running away is probably all he could manage.
Cut it out, Riley.
Yeah, it's really not helping. If he does have some kind of issue, you're not going to make it better by literally throwing in his face in front of all of his soldiers.
The Empire took your family from you, not Claude. He's grown up since then. Judge him for who he is now.
Leave it be, Kai.
But...
It's all right. Words can't change the past. We'll just have to rebuild.
Rebuild what?
Our trust. Riley, I'm gonna show you how much I've changed. At least give me a chance to prove myself.
Let's make one thing clear. Unless it's for the mission, I do not take orders from you.
In the military, that would also not be true. In the game, they're kind of stretching it a bit.
Riley...
Give me a break.
Alright. So, new episode, The Liberation of Rain, Inner City Assault.
Our goal is to liberate Rain.
We've confirmed multiple heavy tanks, but suspect that many of them are fake. Squad E is to infiltrate the city and relay the real tanks' locations for our artillery. A thick fog is causing poor visibility, so you'll need to get close to confirm which ones are decoys. Remember, your task is to locate the heavy tanks for fire support. Do not engage them. Victory, find all real enemy tanks. Failure, the enemy occupies your base camp. All allied infantry fall in action 20 turns pass or Kai dies. Interesting. That's like one of the requirements is for her to stay alive.
Lock and load.
Alright. So. Okay, she has to be deployed too. Which is interesting. Where's Riley?
All right.
I thought she said she was part of the mission, but I don't see her. A little confused as to why she's not here. Okay, whatever, I guess.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
I'll do what I want.
All right, I'll do something out there.
That is all. Be sure not to miss a single tank.
Locate the decoys and confirm the real tank's positions. Squad E, move out!
This fog will make finding the real tanks interesting.
Yeah. We can't spot the decoys until we're practically on top of them. Stick to cover and proceed with caution.
Copy that. Though I can't speak for Raz.
Say what?
Claude, I need to go over something with you.
Tutorial orders. Claude can use CP to issue special orders. Open the menu in command mode and select orders to list your available orders. We already got a couple of those from earlier. More powerful orders cost more CP. Learn new orders at the training field or by talking to allies at the mess hall. Understanding what each order does can change the tide of battle. Which, yeah, that is actually true, obviously. There's a little bit more to it than that.
I got this. What the hell? The main gate's blocked off.
This isn't good. Our tank can't get in.
Looks like the controls are on the other side. Raz, can you go around and open the gate?
Yeah, I'm on it. Stupid monk. Choke.
You're not talking about Coffin, are you? I'm not letting you ride it anymore.
And considering that he's going to have to risk his life to go around,
Got enemies here.
I do feel as though he has kind of a right to be a little bit uneasy about doing that. Co-op attacks. When an attacking unit is near an ally, they may launch a co-op attack together. Some classes are less likely to engage in co-op attacks than others. Squad mates who like each other have a greater chance of using a co-op attack. The squad mates each soldier likes are listed on their status screen. Up to 3 units can attack at once.
Here comes the pain.
Commencing count.
The enemy tank was a fake.
They're in range.
Die!
Good.
I'll probably just like leave him here. Only because we still have to run like around, but that's going to be better suited for
Set 'em up.
a scout. So.
Found him.
Tutorial lying prone. Crawling soldiers cannot be discovered except at close quarters. Upon discovery, the prone unit uses interception fire. Scouts, however, are able to discover prone units from a greater distance. Crawling raises a prone unit's defenses, similarly to crouching behind sandbags. Use grenades or other explosives on crawling enemies to blow them away and force prone units to their feet.
Watch out for counterattacks.
That is exactly what we're going to do.
Calm down. We need suppressing
This guy's prone.
There we go. Huh?
That stinks.
Weapons tight. Our mission is to find the tanks, not attack them. Let's do this by the book.
Isn't attacking a tank, bro.
Watch out for counterattacks.
Anyway. He's acting like I was trying to assault a tank there or something. Or maybe they're just saying, you know, focus in on what you're doing, don't get sidetracked, I guess. Not really getting sidetracked, so.
I like that.
Target destroyed. Very good.
Okay.
Just don't get in my way.
Basically just gonna keep going with the scouts.
Put in a little work.
There's that co-op fire they were just talking about.
Done and done.
This will fetch a good price.
Ammo recovery, very cool.
That'll do, I guess.
So what that's good for is if you throw a grenade, you'll get your ammo back. Your rifle you have unlimited shots with the scout, so it's not really that big a deal.
There you are.
Okay, another fake.
Don't talk down to me.
Now we obviously want to open the door,
There you
so
are.
we're gonna try to do that. Like that.
Advancing. Fire!
I see. They're good.
That just puts us in a better position. Removes the sandbags and almost killed the shock trooper. So there is a Lancer there, but he won't be able to get behind my tank and kill it from his position. Boom. Shock trooper immediately died. They might recapture that base, but that's fine. They have a scout right there, so not too worried about it.
Ow! Whoa! Huh? Bingo!
Almost. We'll probably shoot at the tank. Not a big deal. It's very little damage. Scout. Killed himself by crossing the path of the tank. Obviously not smart. Oh, and one more thing I'll show you guys. Lancers can't shoot back.
Just don't get in my way.
So if you get close to a Lancer, you can literally just like walk up next to them and kill them. They can't shoot like bullets back. But on their turn, they can launch their lance attack at you. If that hits an infantry unit, a lot of times it kills it. Unless it's another Lancer, or sometimes a shock trooper can tank one. Engineers, grenadiers, and scouts are very weak to a close range Lancer attack, so be careful. Tutorial potentials. Every soldier has a set of innate abilities known as potentials. Potentials are awakened in combat under set conditions, such as remaining hit points, terrain type, and other factors. Each squad member has their own unique strengths and weaknesses. And like I said, you can kind of hone those as time goes on too. So.
Claude, we've located a tank.
All right, keep it up. There should be more lurking around.
Tell me more about your problems.
Keep calm and move onward.
Be really careful with tanks because they do tend to have machine guns, and those will just absolutely decimate you. Need to be very careful with that.
I got this.
Confiscate range.
Hell yeah, that's tank number 2.
Great. There's more to go, so watch out for decoys.
Keep calm and move onward.
Come on!
Kill confirmed.
We're gonna have to figure out where the last tank is. I really don't remember. I'd probably take the scout rather than Raz, only because you get to move further.
Nice job. Keep up the good work. Found him.
Fake. Fake. Another one supposedly over here.
We found the third tank.
Okay, so that's the last one.
Okay, let's keep looking and make sure we don't miss any.
Watch out for counterattacks.
As you can see, that basically almost instantly killed me. Need to be real careful with that with the tanks.
We
Those
can't
machine
let them
guns
be our
are
numbers.
just nasty.
Do you think they'll fall for this?
We've got one more enemy at their base, it looks like, at least. Maybe more, potentially. But at least one more enemy at their base.
Just don't
We'll
get
probably
in my
take
way.
him and see if we can sneak around.
They're firing on us.
This tank makes number...
Good
Oh.
going. There should still be more.
I guess there's more than just the 3. Well, that was all of them, but
Found them.
it's actually not.
There you are.
We found the 5th tank.
Okay, let's keep searching.
They're in range.
Incoming!
Whatever gets the job done.
Kind of not great because we can die there. So I'm not super thrilled with that. Maybe I can sneak up like over there behind this one. Hopefully that's not also a tank.
Found
If this is a fake, that would be better. Good. That's actually a good thing for us.
numbers.
I don't know if he has enough to get there or not. Let's find out.
Work?
Yeah, he does.
Keep calm and move onward.
What
You've been spotted.
At least gives him a fighting chance to stay alive there. And probably take this scout and go left. Hopefully we don't just get immediately obliterated. Okay.
Okay, we got a pretty good idea of where the tanks are.
I'll report back right away. Something isn't right.
What's wrong, Miles?
Our signal's jammed. We can't radio fire support.
What? But we need that artillery.
I can't fire at random, and I can't even contact them.
We should get out of here before we're surrounded.
Claude!
They're late. Have you heard from the front line? They were supposed to report in ages ago.
I've been hailing them, but there's no response.
You hailed them? What the hell were you thinking?
Lieutenant Miller, the enemy knows our position!
Yeah, because of you.
They triangulated our radio signals, moron.
Pretty much what she said.
No, we're done for! They almost got us!
They only got the general direction. They won't land a direct hit that easy.
But it won't be long before they do! Lieutenant, we have to retreat!
If we run away, Claude's dead. And Squad E with him. Hold your ground until I say otherwise.
At this rate, we'll all be killed! What if we're waiting for an order that never comes?
Chips are down, Claude. And you're MIA.
It's not MIA. What's she talking about?
It's just like before. If you really have changed, then prove it to me.
The base has been abandoned due to the enemy's counterattack, regrouping troops to regain formation.
Enemy soldiers incoming from the west.
Trapped like friggin' rats. The hell are we gonna do?
We can't even contact Lieutenant Victor.
This mission's a failure, Claude. Only you can give the order to retreat.
After we've come so far?
Claude?
No retreat. Our job is to tell fire support where to aim. And that's what we're gonna do.
But how can we if we can't call them?
The answer is... that tower.
Huh?
Oh, that's a signal tower. Back in the day, they'd switch up the numbers to send out messages.
Sniper team, can you hit those panels?
From here? Of course.
Good, then get ready. We can use that tower to send coordinates to the field artillery team. Shooting the panels should change their numbers. I'll tell you what to display. First, make the top row say 715.
Roger that.
Okay. So 715 for the top row.
One shot's all I need. There.
The enemy's infiltrated the area.
That's supposed to tell them where the tanks are? They probably won't even notice.
Wait a minute. Top row doesn't look like a coordinate. I wonder what 715 means.
Good work, Kai. Now ring the bell 5 times.
5 times? Wow. July 15th. That takes me back.
Hey, you sure they're gonna figure this out?
Don't worry. Riley will definitely know what it means.
What are their numbers?
See?
They did it! They destroyed the tanks!
Slick shooting. Those were both direct hits.
Looks like your code made it through to Riley.
Yeah. Kinda weird that Raz didn't get it, though. Okay, on to the next ones.
I don't know, Raz seems kind of derpy.
Shoot a different tower and make the top row say 715.
We'll shoot a different tower. So that means we need to go either back and to my right, or forward and looks like a little to the left.
Sighted.
Which there's probably enemies in my way, I'm assuming. You probably can't just like go directly there, I'm guessing. And there is, so
Moving out.
we're gonna need to take care of that.
Nice to feel dirt under my feet. Enemy spotted.
Calm down. We need suppressive fire now.
There.
The Vanguard's under fire.
So that's a leader, and they lose a CP point because we destroyed their leader.
Target destroyed.
Now I'm just gonna hide this guy. We're gonna bring another one in, do basically the same thing. Do the second one.
Lady Luck's on our side.
That way I can move Kai up.
Watch out for counterattack.
There they are. Read 'em and win.
I see. They're good.
Second tower there. She doesn't need to be like all the way over here to make that shot. She just needs to be able to see it. However, that being said, there's a perch.
Now advance.
So if there's a perch, there's a chance she can hit the third tower from over there. Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see. Either way, she can hit this one from here.
Good. Those are the right coordinates. Ring the bell, Kai.
You got it.
Hell yeah! Music to my ears!
That's
The
what I'm
next
saying.
tower is the last. Snipers.
715 up top, right? I'm on it.
I'm turning her around because there's two guys behind her. They're likely going to try to attack. So what we need to do, ideally what we need to do, is either kill them or probably kill them would be the best bet here.
All units, watch your
Figured them
surroundings.
out. Take aim.
I think how I want to do this.
Just don't get in my way.
If I go this way, there's a scout and a lancer.
Keep some spare ammo, just in case.
Please tell me more about your problems. You like that?
Come on, guest of honor.
Kill confirmed. Not bad out there.
Just don't get in my way.
But we also need to clear away for Kai. This will be the safe play, basically.
Right on.
Pretty good.
What? I have to work? All right.
Excellent. Just what we needed.
Keep firing.
There they are. Bingo.
Target destroyed. Very good.
And the last tower is, looks like right here. Can't tell which way the numbers are facing. I think the numbers are facing on the far side. So that's going to take a while to get over to. Oh, does it show it? Yeah, it does. It shows it facing that way. So. But no hit points left. So any hit here will kill him. But there's probably a second one back there, most likely. Okay. Not sure what the plan was there, I guess, to take our base camp. Still have Raz and the tank in there, so. Okay, they're gonna try to retake the camp. That's fine.
Guess I got cocky.
Again, not a big problem.
Snipers, shoot the top row until the panels say 715.
Here what I'll do is I'll scout out the last panel section here. Make sure there's nothing in the way that would kill Kai
There they are.
as she attempts to get to the
They've got you in their sight.
Still don't see the numbers on this.
Calm down. We need suppressive.
Oh, here you go. This is one of the aces, so he has a name, which means if we kill him, we'll get his weapon, which is really useful. So definitely want to do that.
That's worth a raise, right?
How can? Okay, so she needs to be on this side of the panel in order to shoot it. So we'll take her the long way around. Only because it'll actually end up taking this route is probably actually faster than taking the other route. But first, we're gonna retake the camp, and then she can make her way around basically. Oh, and this is a leader too, so we'll get extra money and XP for that.
Right on.
Target destroyed.
Anybody that has a red uniform, you should kill them if you can, unless it's going to sacrifice a grade. If it's going to sacrifice a grade, it's not worth doing.
Captured
But
an
if
enemy
it's not
unit.
sacrificing a grade,
Done.
and you can still pull it off, then I would say it's definitely worth it. Right. Bye.
Do not.
Snipers don't get to move super far. They don't have a lot of AP, so they're not really the best unit for trying to, go long distance. Really, but this is probably the end of the mission right here.
There. Ringing the bell.
Our tank platoon is wiped out? Impossible.
So this is it.
All right, we're pulling out. Make it quick.
They beat an awfully hasty retreat. Can considering how many troops they had left.
They lost their ace in the hole. Heck, I'd withdraw if I was in their shoes.
Awaiting orders. Should we pursue?
Negative. Our job is to capture the comm center. No reason to overextend ourselves.
Yep.
Now let's finish up the mission. Split up and find their radio equipment.
On it, boss. All right, boys. One more job to do. Come on!
You saved us all. Thank you, Riley.
You kind of saved yourself, too. We got the A rank. We got 3 leader bonuses, 1 ace bonus. And we seized ZM Car 1E from the enemy. So we got, this is only 1 too. So you only get 1 of those. You don't get like a full subset for your squad. So you have to pick individual people to use that if you want. Tutorial: Imperial Weapons. Seize Imperial weapons by defeating aces. Weapons made in the Empire have different properties from Federation armaments. Unlike items obtained from R&D rewards, and spoils received are limited in number. You can only equip as many as you want. Which is what I just did.
Good news, Claude. HQ has awarded you with a medal.
Honorary Medal of Valor awarded. Received an accessory as a reward, telescope.
You certainly impressed someone in that last battle. HQ sent you something nice as a reward.
And we also received 2 Robinson M91Rs machine guns for a reward. LF Wasp number 1R ×2, Landcar MR1 ×1, and a lucky coin. Weaponry tab has been updated.
Oh man, Miles, you should have seen the look on your face.
You try keeping your cool with a bomb landing next to you.
For that.
Raz, Miles, come help me gather some parts we need.
Can't you do that on your own?
Read the room, Raz. Read the room.
Oh. Come on, Raz. Let's go.
Where are they all headed?
Good timing. Now we can talk in private.
Riley.
Mind if I sit down?
Oh, be my guest.
July 15th is coming up soon.
Remember how excited we'd get for the Star Child Festival? We'd all run up the clock tower, and the first 5 kids to reach the top would ring the bell. I remember the winners got to wear a Star Child medal, and every year you wore yours with pride. I always looked up to you.
I loved that festival. Almost as much as I loved winning.
That's why I knew you'd recognize the signal.
You dingus. For all you know, I might have forgotten.
Nope, not gonna happen.
Not you. There's no way you'd forget those memories.
You really do trust me, huh? The only reason I didn't retreat was out of stubborn pride. I was this close to leaving you for dead, though. Honestly, I didn't think you'd find a way out. And yet, here we are. I canceled my transfer request, by the way. I'll give you another shot. At least long enough to confirm you're not a scaredy Claude. And it's your job to prove it.
It's a little late, but I look forward to working with you.
Emergency! The city is... Look at Rain!
What's going on?
Riley, come on! Rain is burning?
Why? I thought we had it on lockdown!
Empire did this! Set fire to the city so we couldn't take it! They pretended to withdraw but left agents inside.
How could they? There are still civilians in there.
Or Earth policy, basically.
Did the communications officers make it out?
The whole city was doused with napalm. As the flames started spreading, it was already too late.
No. No!
Riley, get a hold of yourself.
Fire. No!
Dad? Hey, stay with me. This isn't Hoffen. Your dad's not in there. Riley!
Interlude. Squad E assembles.
Alright guys, that'll do it for chapter 2. We have a new skirmish. We have like an extra little side mission here as well. Decal for the Hoffen if you want to put it on there, Miller Company. Personnel, news, all that good stuff will be updated as well. But we'll get that in the next episode. For now, that's all. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave me a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time.